You know, in some of the big studios, they have assistants who normally would set up the sessions, set up the routing, the buses, the way the mix engineer usually likes them. In our case, being in a home studio, that's a bit more difficult because we're the assistant, we're the mix engineer, sometimes we're the mastering engineer. So anything that we can do to make our mixing a lot easier so that when we go to mixing, we can focus just on the mixing is a very good thing to do. One of the things that's important about mixing is session preparation. Bringing in your audio, relabeling things, coloring things, grouping things, cleaning up the tracks, making groups, routing, so that when you go to mix, everything's ready for you to go. So in this video, I want to talk about window configurations. Window configurations are really good to help you keep your track organized. While you were away, I created some window configurations. I'm going to cycle through those now and show you how I created them. If you go to Window and you go to Configurations, you can create a new configuration. You can update existing configurations, and you see that the window configurations that I created are already listed here. I'm going to pull up the window configuration list, and you're going to see some of the window configurations I've created earlier. Now I'm going to bring up the memory location window. These two things are tied up. These two windows, the window configuration and the memory location, will work together. And I'll show you how. In order to make the window configurations more dynamic, in a way that you can see parts of your mix in a more organized way, or where you can clear things up for you to mix, you need to use memory locations and window configurations together. Okay, so let me just cycle through these real quick. This is what I call my edit mix all. So I'm back in the mix. Then I could go back and forth between the edit and the mix window. I also have what I call a Studio One view. If you use Studio One, you know that Studio One, you're able to snap the faders down at the bottom and have your window up here still to continue to do the work. So I've done that. I also have a stem view where I can see my stems. This one's really nice because my Mackie Control Universal automatically defaults to these tracks that are on the screen right now. So I don't have to get the Control Universal to bank, which is really nice. It's also good if you're using the Pro Tools remote app because it focuses the tracks that you have on the screen right on your iPad. So if I want to do any work to my stems here, I have it directly. I have everything on the screen that I need. I don't have to go back. If I want to maybe do some automation, I can do that here. And this is good because now I'm just focused on that specific area. And then I have an aux view. This is going to show me all my auxiliary tracks that I created. In essence, this is all my buses and stems and my mix bus. And I included the master track in that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 buses for the mix session. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stems plus 2 more buses here, the lead vocal and the BGVs. The only downside to this, track position remains consistent with the entire mix session. So I couldn't create one window configuration where the tracks would be here all together. Like I would bring the lead vocal and the background vocal here. And then when I went back to my other view, they will go back to how they were originally. So that's just one thing you can't do. But this is great. Now you can see all your buses here. And this is good because you can see your levels. See your mix bus at a glance, your master, and then you can see the levels going into your stems. Okay, then I go back to my edit mix all. And every time you need to open up the tracks window and the groups window, you have to click on here. But you can create a window configuration to where you don't have to do that. So if I just click here, it does that for me. Okay, or I created a view where it's just the tracks and I don't have any inserts or sends. And the last one that I wanted to talk about is my mix check window configuration. So basically, I can jump from one view to another really quickly instead of having to click through the plugins or click through the tracks and trying to get back to where I was. Now I want to get back to the main screen where I'll be editing. And I'm there. So that's how that works. So how do you create that? So you have to think through a couple of things about this. First off, the window configurations only apply to the size of the windows, and what aspects, anything that can be called a window or considered a window would be part of this window configuration. The number of tracks, the height, the selection on the actual waveform, or what tracks are displayed, if they're hidden or displayed, that's got to be done through the memory marker locations. Now, the markers have two purposes. One is to help you organize your song so you know that song structure, the verse, the chorus, the bridge, the end. But it also has other features that you can use in conjunction with the window configurations. So let's create one real quick. So I got to think through this. So what could I create? Let's just say I want a minimal area here. Want to move this around. Maybe bring this over here. Want to have the clip list. Okay, so I'm going to create a window configuration here that shows me all of my clips, shows me all of the tracks and the groups. I'm going to resize it, get rid of the sends and inserts, expand this. Try that again. Expand that. Just want to have that, and then I'm going to resize this one. And actually, I'm going to show them here as well. I don't know why I would do this, but just want to show you how I do it. Okay, so let's say I want to be able to see all of the clips, all of the tracks, and all of the groups in one go. And then I also want to see the window configuration window, the memory location window, and I'm here. So you can do it one way. You can go to window and create a new configuration there, and then you label it. Or you can do a shortcut, which is first I have to look at the numbers here and use one that's not taken. So number 9 is not taken. So I'm going to do .9 plus, and that's going to bring up the same menu. And I'm going to call this clips, groups, tracks. And I'm going to leave it on window layout. Hit OK. So that's number 9. But before that can work, I need to create a memory location. So now I'm going to go to create a location. I'm just going to hit enter. And I'm going to say, and I'm using the 20s because the 1 through 10 I normally save for the song structure, like the verse, the chorus, and the rest. So I'm saving that. So I'm going to use 29. I'm going to change the number here, 29. And I'm just going to call it the same thing, clips, groups, tracks. On the time properties, I have nothing. And then on the general properties, I'm just going to leave the track show and hide, track heights. Well, actually, I don't need these for this. This is just showing me the windows. So I'm going to link it to a window configuration. So I'm going to look on here, and I'm going to look for number 9, which is clip, groups, and tracks. And I'm going to hit OK. This is my mix edit. This is my edit window with the tracks and groups showing on the left side. My edit window with no inserts, no sends. My mix check. Oh, it looks like I have one extra by error. Let me get rid of this one. what did I just do? Oh, Lord. Okay, my mix check, which is the one I'm going to use to check the levels of my mix. All right. Then I have the clips and groups window. Now, the neat thing about this is that you can cycle through them with shortcuts. If I wanted to go to window configuration number 1, I'm going to hit dot 1 asterisk. Number 2, dot 2 asterisk. Number 3, dot 3 asterisk. Number 4, dot 4 dot, dot 4 asterisk. And the same thing for the aux views, dot 6 asterisk. Stem view, dot 7 asterisk. But that didn't work because now I'm adding the tracks into it. Remember, the window configuration is only for window sizes. Now I have to bring in my marker location window, memory location window. And if I want to look at my stem view, I have to do it from here. Because what I've done is I hit all of the tracks that I didn't want to see. I left the ones I wanted to see, then I saved it. And that's how I was able to book this one as a stem view, only showing this ones. In this one, you can see that I have track show and hide and track heights for the height of the actual track in the edit window. There's not much more to this than that, so this is going to come in handy when we start mixing. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.